Mirrors are one of the most common items found in almost every household, but a lot of people don't know the mysterious and dark secrets that these mirrors supposedly hold. What people also don't know is that they actually have a strong link to the paranormal and the superstitious. Mirrors are said to be portals into different dimensions and worlds, but what dimensions they lead to depend on who you ask. Now, a lot of children are actually taught this at an early age with games like Bloody Mary, a game where you stand in front of the bathroom mirror and say the name Bloody Mary 3 times in order to summon some kind of evil spirit. The idea of mirrors and their supernatural abilities go back thousands of years into human history. Back in medieval times, it was actually believed that a soul could be captured by a mirror. This was such a common idea, in fact, that whenever somebody was close to death, it was actually customary to cover every mirror in the house, that way their soul could leave their body and go into heaven. But not only can the spirit supposedly be trapped inside, but spirits can come out as well. Like I mentioned earlier, mirrors are also seen as portals into other worlds, and this includes the world of the dead and even hell. It is often said that looking at a mirror at night or by candlelight higher the chances of seeing into these worlds. It is also said that covering your mirror at night right before you go to sleep is a must, since that is when you're at your most vulnerable and the spirits at their strongest. It is more likely for a spirit to come out of a mirror if darkness fills the room that the mirror is in. Now, there are some supposed ways of stopping a mirror from turning into a portal without having to light up the mirror all day and night. According to some, moving the mirror around every few days will stop the mirror from turning into a portal. Apparently, it is not the mirror creating a portal, but the act of keeping it in one place which causes the portal to appear. So what kind of entities actually come out of a mirror? Well, there were a few actually. One of the most common are actually the shadow people. Shadow people are often seen entering or leaving mirrors, and they are said to most likely appear in a room where a mirror is present. These entities are the most common, but most are not really known for being violent or hostile. Most of these shadow people actually just stand around and observe, which in all honesty is still pretty goddamn creepy. There are several stories, however, where these shadow people actually become hostile and sometimes even violent. These hostile shadow creatures are actually known to throw things around the room and even hide important things like car keys and wallets. If you want to learn more about shadow people, I actually have a video on that, so go ahead and check that out. Another well-known entity that emerges from mirrors is known as the mist. The mist is mainly made up of some sort of dark and dense fog. The thing about the mist, however, is that it is often said to bring dread, anger, or even the feeling of depression. It is also not uncommon for poltergeist-like activity to appear soon after the mist was spotted. The mist can also be accompanied by dark red eyes that appear in dark areas, or sometimes even an ominous growl. It is sometimes seen where the mist grows enough power to actually turn into a humanoid figure that resembles a shadow person that stands in the room and observes everybody. Now, a funny idea is that some people actually think that the mist is a weaker form of a shadow person, and many people think that the reason it causes dread and depression is because it actually feeds off of that, and once it gains enough power off the feeding, it can eventually gain the power to turn into a shadow person. So people think shadow people are actually evolved forms of the mist, and the reason they enter certain houses through mirrors is because they pick houses that have a lot of dread, anger, or depression already that they can feed off of. This could be the reason why people who are often haunted are people who have negative energy around their home. But all in all, whether the shadow people and the mist are related is not yet certain. The last entity said to appear from mirrors are actually faces, and a lot of the time it is said that you can see a lot of faces if you look directly into a mirror at night, and most of the time these faces are human. Many people have even claimed that the faces they see in the mirrors are actually somebody that has passed away recently. In an ironic twist, a lot of these faces actually bring peace and comfort to somebody who has lost somebody recently. Many people say not to be fooled, however, since a lot of the faces that you see in the mirrors might not be what they seem, since many people have seen demonic faces as well. It is also a well-known demon trick that they turn into somebody that you love and respect in order to gain your attention and your trust. There have been several cases where somebody has seen a face in a mirror of somebody that recently passed away, and that causes them to stand in front of the mirror for days on end trying to see the face again. Now in their eyes, they saw somebody they love, and that's perfectly understandable on why they would want to see it again, but we honestly don't know what's going on in their psyche, and we don't know what kind of effect standing in front of a mirror could have. If what they saw was some kind of demonic entity, then that's exactly what they would want from them. The people that saw the face would be giving so much adoration and love to an entity that is probably not the person they think it is. Now, why do we think that these mirrors are portals at all? Many people think that the negative spirit world is actually the closest to our reality, which is why it's so easy for them to cross over. The negative spirit world is said to be home to a lot of dark and evil spirits, and mirrors are said to be portals into that world. These mirrors are thought of as doors, a place where a spirit can enter and leave from our reality into theirs or vice versa. A lot of paranormal researchers, aka ghost hunters, have actually found out that a lot more paranormal activity happens in a room where a mirror is present. There is also a common idea that not only spirits can enter through a mirror, but other dimensional beings or even aliens as well. Many people think that when you're looking into a mirror, you're not actually seeing your reflection, but you're seeing another dimension with another version of you. Mirrors are not all bad, however, as some are actually seen as a good omen. Many people think that spirits are actually portals that a spirit can go through, but only if it's spiritually mature, meaning it's strong enough to do so. That means that a spirit is most likely not to be hostile. In addition, mirrors were also seen as gateways into the future. Back in the old days, many people thought that you could actually see your future in a reflection if you focused enough. This is why it's considered bad luck to break a mirror since your future is held in it. This is also why fortune tellers use crystal balls. They're not actually seeing anything inside of the crystal ball, but they're using the reflection to try to see the future. But what do you guys think? Do you guys think that mirrors are actually portals into another world, or are people just overthinking it? Be sure to let me know in the comments below. Also, be sure to share any paranormal stories you have involving mirrors. I would love to hear them. Anyways, this has been Sinister Stories, and thank you for watching. And next time you see your reflection in a mirror, make sure you pay real close attention because you never know what might be looking back.